as we said, guys, you have to understand this. I pointed out earlier, and I just want to say it again, just to emphasize on it. We don't have the normal setup here that we usually have when we are casting GSL Code A or if we cast a DSTL. So right now we don't have the luxury of having an observer in game, so we can't check on any of these positions. We can't check the tabs that we are used to. We are completely depending on what we see on the screen, and therefore sometimes you cannot follow an attack up by just comparing how much they lost, what the current state of the game is. And from what we've seen, I actually thought for a long time that Symbol had no chance, or that Reality had no chance of coming back into the game. With the 3 orbitals, he had the mineral income, but it just looked like Symbol was never missing a beat with his follow-up. But apparently, despite him taking the 3rd and tagging very fast, he did not have the drone count or either the correct drone to saturation at his 3 bases. Maybe he over-droned in 1 and didn't slide drones over. I can't tell you right now. The fact of the matter is, Reality was able to edge his way back into the game. He set up his defenses, made good on those 3 orbitals, took the 3rd later on, and Symbol, for some reason, lost the game after all. I'm sure that he's going to put as much effort as possible into this game in order to make sure to advance to the next round. And as mentioned before earlier, also another result that was confirmed is that Snow was able to defeat Nestea with 2-0.
Yeah, Nestea does have to go play in the OSL Duel tournament later on today, so he's probably going to go ahead and head down to Yongsan pretty soon. He's playing in the later group. There's 2 groups playing today, so it's not like he's starting in an hour and a half like the actual group is, but I think Nestea might be a little bit stressed about that, having to play in this preliminary and then having to go play a televised OGN broadcast match later on is got to be a little bit stressful. But we'll see. Maybe we'll see another broadcast match from Snow. He's been playing for a little bit longer. I think he played before most players switched, I believe. I remember someone telling me that. So he's got a little bit of experience, so we'll see. Anything can happen. Some of our GSL players, I have to say, are not performing very well today. Not as well as I would have expected them to do. But again, GSL players normally have a lot more time to repair, especially Code S players, like Symbol, for example, have a lot of time to repair, get their minds ready for an opponent, study an opponent directly, sometimes for weeks in advance. And in this case, he doesn't really know Reality. Didn't even know he was going to face Reality necessarily, so he can't really prepare here.
Daybreak is our 2nd map, and we currently have the command center building for Reality on the low ground. He already has the double gas immediately as a follow-up. He's not starting with additional barracks here.
I wonder what we're gonna see. I don't think Symbol is going to take gases here and be aggressive, even off of 2 or 3 hatcheries. I think he's gonna play the longer game here with this type of build that we see from Reality. He's going to do the reactor Hellions into Banshees with a 3rd type of play. He's going to play a standard game this one. It's going to feel good being up a game against someone who's quite popular, someone who's in Code S. Reality probably just going to sit back. His mind is not distracted here, I don't feel. See what his plan is, though. He may do something different. He may freak me out and do something strange. But it's starting to look like it's going to be pretty clear. He's going to switch that factory with the barracks, put it on the reactor, make a tech lab with the barracks so he starts a starport, switch those. That's the way of things. That is TV. Look at this. Whoa. Oh, I know the future or what. Look at this tech lab going down the barracks. Maybe. Maybe. No, he's going to start the Hellions first. Doesn't have the minerals yet. He's like, Wolf, come on. You got to know the right order. Oh, sorry, I'm not perfect.
So far we don't have any gas for Symbol, so he's playing gasless style here.
Tech lab goes down. Barracks and starport spotted.
He's on 4 queens, he spots exactly what's going on, and he retreats. Of course, he has the better vision here.
Yeah, and he's actually going to be able to save that Overlord as a result. Really nicely done by Symbol. I'm proud of him. 3rd hatch, getting the queens, as you mentioned, with no gas. Get a ton of queens out with those extra minerals. This is the style that a lot of Terrans have struggled with recently.
We've seen it go up to 8 queens currently, as number 5 and number 6 on the way, and of course using the creep spread, whereas the Banshee follow-up for Reality is going to hit.
You know what's funny to me is a lot of the Brood War players have switched after the queens were changed, or right before the queens changed, so they never really experienced what it was like without the queen change. So it makes one wonder if they will be one of the first people to do some crazy innovation. We've already seen some cool barracks attacks and different styles from Terran, so I wonder if we'll start to see something different out of these players in general as well. We're just going to see that Cloak Banshee play. Third command center will be started at some point very soon. He's bringing in SCV. We've seen a lot of players try to bunker third bases just from far away, and not bunker the hatchery itself, but far enough away from the hatchery where it's not spotted, then fall back to the bunker, force a lot of lings. But with this many queens and the transfuses he has, he's going to have to cancel this, I think.
Yeah, too many queens. He can't snipe the SCV. That's the biggest problem. But the queen's out of position now, and this is the timing that actually Reality uses in order to get into the base. He's trying to block the ramp here. Very well done. He saves most of his drones already, and now moving back with the queens. This was actually really well done by Symbol and by Reality, both of them.
Yeah, can you block the ramp with one queen like that?
If it's in a perfect position, you can against the Hellions.
I guess Hellions are of a different unit size than perhaps a Zergling or a Zealot, but I saw that and I was like, he's in trouble, but he wasn't able to get in there. Cloak is done, forces the Spore immediately upon seeing the Banshee. We're going to see how much damage this is doing. It's losing a lot of mine time, first of all, and a few of the drones already been killed. Lair is on the way. It's about 2/3 of the way done. He's not going to be able to do too much with this, but it's annoying at first to have to pull your drones. He's also just losing some of the drones.
He already forced the mining off. All the drones are actually gone, and now he's trying to snipe. That's not going to work.
No.
The Banshee is still alive. And the second one, hey, straight. Why is there no...
He's not making a Spore there, and this one actually is not in good position. He does move it, though, intelligently here.
Yeah,
he's going to lose some drones regardless.
Yeah, Reality is playing this well.
I think he could be targeting a lot better, but now he's starting to do it.
Well, he has 9 kills on Banshee #1. The second one is still doing damage. And Symbol is struggling, and he's struggling a lot more than I expected.
Where is the Overseer? Why has he not made one? That's disappointing to me.
One of the Banshees is gone. The second one here. In the last game, Symbol, before the comeback, he crushed Reality with his early double barracks attack. Later on, the follow-up on the comeback for Reality was actually well played, but now the early game is definitely in favor of the Terran player. With all the damage that he's done here with his 2 units, with the 2 Banshees, this is already like really impressive. On the other hand, we had Symbol defending against the Hellions. I like though that Reality tried to start this attack at the third base in order to force Symbol to use his queen at the low ground and then try to move in. That was really well thought out.
Overseer scouts the third command center, and the 5 barracks that were being added here, he's actually going to be able to power up a ton of units with this. Banshee still survives as the Spire is not done yet. He's getting out of there with it. Well, maybe. How many mutas will he make? How much will he commit to this? These are important questions that will soon be answered. Symbol is not the type to really go beyond 8 mutas. He makes them, shuts down drops, picks off tanks later if he can, and does a little bit of harassment in the middle line if he can, but he's not going to make probably more than 12, I don't think. 10 drones on the way right now as the Spire finishes as well, not even starting a single muta right now.
I'm wondering what kind of strategy Reality played against Shine, because Shine is definitely talking to Symbol about the games that they played, so I wonder if he double barracks him a lot, because Symbol is scouting in the early game like crazy. That just came to mind that he actually faced Shine in the last game, and they talked about what happened. So I think this is probably why Symbol is scouting this much.
Yeah. He's really being very careful. This is a tough opponent to face with limited information. 1 muta, and that's probably for the Banshee. Oh, actually, no, he already had some out earlier. I apologize. I want to see the mutas count in total. Probably like 8. Did you see exactly how many he made at first? Is that it? Just those 6 plus the 1, so 7?
25 drones killed. This time it's basically exactly the other way around. Early on it was Symbol in game #1 who killed this many harvesters, but now it's suddenly Reality who was able to take down the worker count of his opponent. Look at the creep spread. This is more Symbol-like. This is more than we saw in the last game.
Yeah, you could even say it's symbolic. If you're making a bad joke, you could say that. But 2-2 finishing up for Symbol, actually way ahead of Reality. Reality is 2-2 just starting. Infestation Pit coming up. So see, he's only making about 8 mutas here, as we predicted. Going straight into the Infestors, which is a more reliable composition, most would argue, especially on a map like this. And the drop, though, is actually, he's doing a drop despite the mutas being out. So this puts, the Symbol felt a little bit complacent, I would say, with this. He did not leave any drop defense at home. This drop could do a lot.
And that's one of the things that has been struggling in the last game against the drop play, but this time he seems to be a bit more prepared at least. Of course, the Spire, one of the first targets for Reality, but the Medivac is gone, and where's the defense? There, but only Mutalisks?
Oh,
and he loses the Spire as well. That's not...
That was not good.
Well, if he wants to go for Broodlords, he just has to start the Spire again, but he needs to make sure that these Mutalisks are not gonna die. This is the one thing that he has against drop play now. Because so far, no Infestors. Pathogen Gland is being researched here.
Look at the army supply, 102 to 76. If he sieges up properly here, he may just kill Symbol's army, even if Symbol has 2-2 before him. This is scary. A nice scan here. I would have been thinking the same thing. Are there any burrowed banelings? This is a great place to burrow those, especially with the Mutalist traps that are sometimes set.
The overall supply is 50 in favor of Reality with all the units that he killed in the early game. This is really good play by him.
Yeah, it's showing through. Those Brood War mechanics definitely showing through here. Not missing any depots. Look at this wall that he's set up as well. It's not going to be enough against the banelings, though. He does get forced away with his SCVs. What's he going to do here? Is he just going to come back? I mean, it looks like it.
Yeah, he's already back. He tries to defend here, and Symbol is just trying to buy time. He knows that he needs time. He wants to have the Hive Tech, and he's going for Ultraless. He didn't rebuild a Spire, so we won't see any kind of airplay. And yes, here he gets one of the drops, but another one is at the bottom right now. And this hatch, well, it's not going to fall. It's taking some serious damage, though.
Yeah, and he can just lift up. Well, that could have been better done, but the bigger problem for him is his commander's under attack. It looks like he's reached the going point. He's not going to turn around anymore. No,
Reality is fed up now. He wants to do some damage, and he moves into the middle of the map now. Army supply, as pointed out, is in favor of Reality. Symbol attacks here. The siege tanks are not sieged up. He needs to connect with the Marines and not with the tanks. He's took a lot of damage, but those Banelings are too late. They are running right into the tank fire.
Yeah, that could have been a lot worse for Reality, but he's continuing this drop over on the right side. The hatchery's starting to get low, and he doesn't have that hatch at the north. This is a very important fourth base.
On the other hand, there's no third for Reality. He's on too many bases. He's sending his command center, his orbital once again to the top left. But Symbol has a lot here. He's still behind in supply, but he can win these engagements. If he gets a good focus on his opponent, then he can definitely come back into this. But this is Reality just playing very strong.
Yeah, and here we go. This engagement is very important. In Reality, if he loses these units, yeah, like you said, he moved the third base back over there, but because it was gone for so long, he doesn't really have a bank that's as good to rebuild them.
Symbol is buying a lot of time,
yeah,
which allows him to get a decent unit composition, and also, of course, the army, the army count he's running by. He's trying to catch the reinforcements.
He will catch some of these Marines. The scans are good here, killing a lot of tumors. Reality is pushing into the heart of Symbol. Symbol is trying to set up a flank here, but there are so many siege tanks. 7 of them out on the map right now. That was a weird Viking that we just saw die.
Yeah, Viking dying to Zerglings is something that you don't see every day.
This counterattack is going to be devastating. He has hardly anything back at home. He has that small force at his third base.
And Reality is doing a lot of damage here. Now suddenly the Banelings need to be used to bust through the main or into the main. And at the same time, the third is gone, and now not suddenly the Natural is being attacked. Here come the Infestor with the Infested Terrans. He's capping the production of his opponent. A fungal on the choke point would be nice, but he doesn't have the energy.
If he actually just waits for these Infested Terrans to die and takes out these Infestors, he's going to be great at home. But Symbol, he has very little answer for this force at his third base. It's going towards the Natural now.
Reality is looking great here.
Yeah.
He's still in a tough spot in his main base, but with the damage that he does, Symbol's bases are going to die for sure.
I mean, he's losing all of his drones here that try to retreat. He is desperate. He is in a base trade of some kind, but there's not enough units, I think.
He has the bank, though. That's the one advantage that he has. He has 1,300 minerals. He can build a lot of bases now. And if he kills the opponent's production, but how do you deal with this army? That's the bigger problem.
Well, right now he's going to wish he had a Spire, because if he has to base trade, he's going to need that to kill flying buildings. Right now, these buildings can just get away with whatever they want. They're all going to escape. And some good Baneling hits here, actually.
Very good Baneling hits.
Whoa, those Baneling hits were quite crucial, maybe.
If he would have the Spire still, he could have built 15 Mutalisks.
Yeah. And he doesn't have it, though. The Infestors with a lot of energy, they're quite crucial, but he's got to be careful of the siege tank! All right.
Finally sees the interest. This is a crazy game. This is actually insane. The Terralan player is still way ahead in overall supply, especially in the army supply. Those infestors are going to be important. He doesn't borrow them either. The orbital is now on the move, trying to get back here, but
I think he's just going to go home and kill the Zerg army and end the game.
There is too much. Even with the bank that Symbol has, he didn't have the production. Great. This is actually really good funnels, but there are no Zerglings.
Yeah, there's nothing to support. GG. I cannot believe Reality 2-0'd him. I cannot believe it, man.
This is insane. This is actually, I mean, wow.
We're facing Reality right now, Kyle. Yeah. We have to face him and we have to look at it.
Reality
and this is what it looks like.
Down Symbol with 2-0. This is more than simply impressive. This is actually, wow.
It's practically unbelievable.
Not in a million years would I have expected this result. This is great play by Reality. Well done. Congratulations to this. He's now advancing to the final.
What a game. You know, a lot of harassment really got him ahead, and then some of the decisions he made through the mid and late game were able to secure him that victory. It was well done. In the end, the positioning of his units in the base trade, well, you can call it a base trade. It became a base trade, but it was kind of weird. It wasn't a full-on base trade. There was a lot of hesitation for Symbol, whereas for Reality, there was not.
Reality did too much damage in the early game. There was damage that he should not have been able to do, because this was standard style. It was well executed, but it was basically what a Zerg player has to face every day. So Symbol lost way too many drones to this. I think it was 25, if I'm not mistaken. That's what they showed on the tab. So he never really was able to come back from this. The early damage to his economy was just way too much.
Well, SkyHigh and Hart are battling it out. Whoever wins that will face Reality in a TBT for the finals. And that's what we're seeing right now on screen, I believe. Well, this has been a pretty sick lineup of players.
I'm just having a look at the grids now. So
this is not what I was talking about, by the way. This is not the right group.
In Group P, we have Stork waiting for his opponent, apparently. In the final, there's already Tails waiting. Snow and Zero are playing, and the Slayer's Mia has to face a player who's just green, Kim Jae-go. Symbol just lost Reality. Reality is advancing, and Hart is up against SkyHigh to determine the next player, so it's going to be TBT in the final. And at the same time, Pold and Maru are in the semifinals. I think Pold won against Bogus, but I'm not sure if that's true. It hasn't been confirmed yet.
자, 전종범 선수가 일단 결승에 진출해 있는 상태고요. 반대편엔 CJ 테란, 장윤철 선수 그리고
Well, we will give you guys some updates pretty soon. We're gonna have another match probably very shortly here. Take a quick little break, and we'll be back in just a few.
그래도 전체적으로 전종범 선수가 미리 결승 진출에 성공. 그리고 반대쪽에 이제 4강 라인.
Actually, well, the mics are not off, so guys. I have the update. The levelatory brackets are a lot faster. So Maru and Hyun are playing the final, apparently, of their grid. Maru playing against Hyun. This is going to be a really good one. And no, actually, there seems to be still semifinals. Already. We have weird brackets here. I'm sorry, there doesn't really seem to be a bracket that is 100% correct and up to date, so we are not at the venue. This is one of the problems that we currently have, and the information or the amount of information that we get here at our position in the caster booth where we are is very limited. So before I just throw around some half-truths, we will just wait until the next match is decided, and we'll go to the backstage area to make sure that we know exactly what's going on in the brackets, and we'll update you later on. So see you guys in a few minutes with the next game here at the WCS preliminaries.
반대편 블록에서는 김원영 선수가 말씀드린 대로 올라왔고, 신이범 선수와 송병구 선수의 경기 결과에 따라서 또 결승전에 상대가 결정이 될 것 같습니다.